And then Danny Ainge called me after the and said, hey, I just want to let you know, I probably just won you another championship. I'm like, why? He says, because I just traded you to the Lakers. Click. I hung up the phone. In my car, was driving to LA. I didn't even know who I got traded for, who I was, but I didn't give a shit. I was out. Hey, I ain't gonna lie,
so
man.
So that's how you found out you got traded. Danny called you and said, I'll probably help win you another championship.
You didn't even talk to your agent or nothing?
No, Danny called me. He called me.
And you didn't say nothing. You just hung up right after you said
yeah, thank you,
got traded to the Lakers.
I called one of my buddies up and said, man, get on that next Southwest flight here. And we're packing these 2 cars up and we driving to LA. I didn't know where I was staying, where I was going, because he was from LA. I'm following him. He got here and we stayed, the airport. We used to always stay by the airport, the hotel by the airport. And that's where I was at for about 2 months till I figured out where to stay in LA. So.
Wow. I got a lot on here, but he deserves all the credit in the world. Trust. Today on the podcast, we got a true NBA legend. A man who just wins. Straight up just wins.
Everywhere he goes.
Let's take it back to Alabama, where he was named High School Player of the Year before staying close to home at the U of A. He went to U of A from 88 to 92. While there, won 3 SEC titles, reached the Sweet 16 twice, set a school record for block shots, and earned a spot on both SEC All-Defensive Team and All-Academic Team. So the brother is smart.
Yeah.
It's a smart brother we got right here.
Smart for a long time.
Drafted 11th overall in 1992 by the Houston Rockets. Mm-hmm. He went on to carve out an incredible 16-year NBA career with the Rockets, the Suns, we won't count that one, Spurs, and of course, our beloved Lakers. Along the way, count them.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7 NBA championships. One of 4 players in NBA history to win titles with 3 different franchises, 2 in Houston, 2 in San Antonio, 3 in LA. And let's be real, he will always be remembered as a Laker.
Absolutely.
Nicknamed Big Shot Rob for a reason. He hit some of the most iconic clutch shots in playoff history. Beyond the rings, he's a versatile forward, a defensive anchor, the ultimate teammate, even if he wasn't afraid to throw a towel or 2 at a coach. Or even me.
Or even a player.
Or even me. Or a player. Please welcome to the show, Robert Horry!
So can I add something to that list?
Yeah, absolutely.
The only player that has done it twice when it comes to winning championships, because everybody on that list, they've only had like 1 champ. Take LeBron, take John Sally, and then you take Danny Green. Those are the other 3 guys, but I'm the only one that has won multiple championships on each of those teams that he played on. So I'm in a category by myself.
Yeah. You by yourself, solo dog.
The 95 championship is up there because you think about it, we were a 6 seed in the teams we had to beat, Utah, Karl Malone, John Stockton, Phoenix, AC, Charles Barkley,
that's right.
Kevin Johnson.
That's right.
And everybody forgets.
Was Marley on that team too, right?
Dan Marley. And we went down 3-1 in that series.
I remember that.
So we had to come back. And then, of course, the next series had to play the MVP, David Robinson, Dennis Rodman. People forget Dennis was on that team. They had the best record in basketball. Sean Elliott, Avery Johnson. And then we went on to beat, I called them America's team. We swept them, Orlando. That's Penny, Shaq, 3D, and that whole crew. So to me, that championship is so great because of the run. Everybody always talk about the journey, and you think about that. We didn't have home court advantage. We went into Utah, won game 5. That's when you only have 5 games. Beat Karl Malone, and it was a little controversy in the game where they tried to hold the clock. You know how it is to play in Utah. They tried to hold the clock and get them a little bit more time to score, and they didn't score.
Everybody's killing Utah. Always.
Max. Everybody's killing Utah.
Then you think about being next series, we had to fly from Utah to Phoenix, being down 3-1 in that series, come back and win. And then we win that series, had to fly from Phoenix straight to San Antonio. San Antonio beat us 5 times that year. When I say beat us 5, they beat us 5 times because that's before the merge and everything where you had to play teams 5 times in your conference. And so we won 2 in their arena, then won 2 in our arena, and then we won 2 in a row, and we beat. Think that. And that's the time where everybody really got to know who Dream was, the Dream Shake. And little small fact, that's where the name of Big Shot came in too. Because in game 1 of that series, I was 0 for 8 And then, you know, they kicked it out to me, pump fake to the corner, took a dribble in, knocked down a shot. And actually, Craig Kilborn was on ESPN talking about Big Shot Bob, you know, and that's how the name came about because of the one freaking shot I made at the time. But yeah.
Well, we're going to talk about that shot too.
Yeah.
But then, of course, you know, you think
we're going to talk about all your shots.
And then the other ring that means a lot to me is the 16-1, man.
Yeah.
You got to think about that. Yeah, that one damn game against Philly. You know,
game one.
We just want to go 16-0. It'd be no doubt in anybody's mind that was the greatest run of all time because it wasn't like we beat some bad people. We're in the West. We smacked everybody in the West. You know, the West has always been dominant. And then we come up and lose that one game to Philly in overtime. You know, it makes me mad to this day to talk about it.
This is a good question.
Why do teams leave you open like that?
I guess because you think about the people I play with. You think about Clyde and Dream. You think about Kobe and Shaq. You think about Manu and Tim. It's like you got to pick your poison. And sometimes, you know, they think those big dogs or the most venomous people is always a small snake. You remember that? You think about the most venomous snakes in the world are the small snakes you don't think about. So that's why I look at myself. I'm like, okay, it's fine. You leave me alone. But I do remember my first time playing the Lakers when I was with the Spurs. And we were the very first game in our building, in San Antonio building, AT&T Center. And I'm sitting there, and it was shot. And Kobe went over to Karl Malone, do not leave this motherfucker. And he's like, Carl standing there and Kobe standing there. He's like looking at me like, no, I'm serious. Do not leave this motherfucker. You understand what I'm saying? and the funny part about it, he left me. But I missed the shot though. I missed the shot. It was one of those deep threes I was trying to get and it was like, and you could see Kobe like, no, like I told you not to leave, but I missed the shot. Crazy part is I missed the shot in the same spot that I say cost me $6 million because, you know, the previous year when we were playing the Spurs in the playoffs, I missed that buzzer. Kobe kicked, I missed the buzzer. We lose game 5 in their building. They go up 3-2. And then we come home and lose to them in 6 games. So that's the same spot. That spot on that San Antonio floor was just a bad spot for me. Even when I played that, I shot everywhere else but that one spot. That triangle spot was bad.
Big Shot, you have won titles alongside of, 4 of the greatest players ever played. Tim Duncan, Hakeem, Shaq, Kobe.
Yeah.
I mean, amazing.
Give us like a little sentence or a paragraph on each of these guys, because they all were leaders.
Yeah.
They all were leaders. But give us a little bit on what made them different as leaders and what they brought to the team.
I think I'm going to start out with my favorite, Dream. I just think because Dream's, he's one, when they talk about lead by example, we all know Dream wasn't a big talker, but the way he came to work every day, the way he practiced, and the way he came, this approach to games, you know, where you would never see Dream in like jeans and then like this during the game. He came with a suit on every time. It was the business of basketball because he was like, the way you conduct yourself and the way you present yourself is how you're going to come across on the floor. And it was the business of basketball. And that just was him. He was very professional, and he was just one of those guys that when he didn't talk much, but when he talked, you better listen. And I remember he and I, we had a lot of good conversations, and we became really, really close. And by the time, you know, my 4th year, I'm yelling at Dream, and people looking at me like, "You yelling at Dream?" I said, "Yeah, because we have that bond. He knows that I know what I'm talking about." So
did
he's
he
going
ever
to listen.
slap you?
He had no reason to slap me.
Max said he slapped people.
Oh, that was the year before I got there, so I heard the story. Yeah. Only person I seen Dream slap was Randy Woods and the Clippers that time. Randy said something very disrespectful to Dream. Next thing, Dream put his hands on him real quick, and Randy ran off to go get Norm. You know, Norm. What's Norm's last name? He was the enforcer for the Clippers.
Ken Norman?
Yeah, Ken Norman.
Yeah.
Ken, he said, "Hey, Dream hit me." Like, who? Dream? Oh, you on your own. So people know you didn't mess with Dream. You know, people forget Dream would put his hands on you in a minute back then. It was only charging $25 back then. So yeah. But then, you know, I think the bond that Shaq and Kobe and I had was a little bit better because we were all around the same age. And, you know, and I think, you know, Shaq and I had all those battles against each other in college, and then of course in the finals, and it was just a special bond that he and I had. And I think all the conversations that we used to have were during practice because we would shoot free throws together. And I would sit there every day. I'm like, dude, you gonna change your form again? Damn. Oh, this was gonna work. Damn, dude, you gonna change your form again? Like, and we used to sit there and I would see him make so many free throws in a row. So you ever go back and look at some clips when he's at the free throw line? I would walk up to him and I would always say something crazy to him. Like, yo, man, you gonna make this one? You'd make it. You know, Halle Berry, right, sitting right there. You know, somebody like, you make this, we fucking lose, man. And you don't get that big deal you want. It's just some crazy shit to get him to not be thinking about the free throw because
the formatics.
Because I know, because in practice we're not thinking, we just shooting.
Yeah,
and they're going in. So I would try to do something to get him to not to think and just shoot. And then of course, I think the one time that me and Kobe just really had a really heart-to-heart conversation was we were coming back somewhere out of the country. I don't remember where it was. And we was just talking, and we talked about dream. We talked about, life after basketball. We talked about, and we were playing spades at the time because I taught him how to play spades. And so we were just talking, man. And and I think that how he and our relationship changed because I think Kobe was I'm 8. I played with 8. I didn't play with 24. 8 was all about being the best, trying, he didn't really let people in. He said, because that was kind of a distraction. I feel like, some people say, I can't let people in because those are distractions. Kobe had a blinder on being the best. He had one goal, being the best. And I think, he understands people's mental and he's like sitting down, I would explain, okay, I like to talk to guys. Like I would talk, how do you want the ball? What's best for you? Coming up screen. We would talk basketball, but then we would talk life. We talk about our kids. We would talk about just, whatever it is, may be music. And I think that was a different kind of bond that kind of where he understood who I was. I understood who he was, and then, everybody always says, well, Kobe never passed the ball because he ain't like y'all. He liked me. So I got the ball. So, and that's how it is. You trust people.
Yeah,
and I tell people all the time, when you're that good, Kobe, when you're that good, they got a choice here. We got a guy who's known for knocking down shots, a guy who doesn't come to practice that much and don't want, don't put in the work, or a guy has just, hasn't had, the time in the league. Which one of those guys he's going to pass the ball to? Me. Because a bad shot for him and he's going to me is going to be a great shot. So he'll give me a bad shot for him. The next guy, no, it's still a worse shot. So Kobe better take the shot.
Turnover.
Yeah, and that's what people have to understand is like great players pass the ball to people they trust and know that they believe in. Because a great shot for them is an awful shot for someone that's taking that same shot.
Yeah.
And that's what people have to look at. And then I just think, in the end with Tim, that was a whole different monster, right? The dude wouldn't talk. I think it took him 2 years to let me in.
Really?
Yeah, man, because he's just an island. He's an island by himself. And I think what really, the bond of us that really happened is we just started talking video games. And then that's when we had the little PS, I forget what they call it, little things. We always play poker on the plane.
Wow.
So he knew I love playing Texas Hold'em. We play poker. And that's how we sitting there playing and talking and laughing. He's like, okay. He kind of let me in. You think about it. It's hard when all your career you going up against this guy that has to guard you, beating you, getting championships. You beat him, getting championships. All of a sudden now he's your teammate. You're like, I ain't like you. So now you're my team. Do I have to let you in? And I think it was hard for him to let me in. And then when he finally let me in, he's like, oh, okay. I know who this dude is. I see that he knows how to come into work and play hard. I understand who he is as a person. He's not, he's not the asshole I thought he was.
Right,
he's an asshole on the court, but off the court, he's a really nice guy. And it was just one of those things that you have to understand is like, you have to let this person in. And you got to think about every athlete has an ego. I don't care who you are. You have some type of ego. And when you had these tough battles, think about the battles we had with them. When I first got to San Antonio, I went to a restaurant. I had people look at me like, you a spy. I'm like, what the fuck you talking about spy? You just here to mess up our team. Like, what are you talking about? And and my first year, we didn't do it.
Lakers.
Yeah, in my first year, I didn't have a good year. And then next year, I signed a 1-year deal at the league minimum. And that's in 2005. And everybody's like, oh shit, okay. It just took me a while for them to learn me and for me to learn them. But it's just hard when you go to new teams and play with all these great players because everybody's different. You got Dream who won't talk much. You got Shaq, who talks a lot. Then you got Tim, who's hot and cold. It's just, but you got to be who you are at the end of the day. And I think once people know that you're a good person, they let you in.
Yeah.
Well, it also helps when Ginobili hit you in that corner. You knocked out that game winner.
And the funny part about that, you think about as hot as I was that game, that play still wasn't run for me.
We got a sponsor, Fuel Station, Rob, and we're going to give you this bottle right here, courtesy of Fuel Station. It's a magnetic bottle, branded with your name, CTG on it as well. You can stick it to a golf cart. You can stick it to gym if you're heading to the gym or whatnot. We're going to be having these. We're going to be selling these as well. Yeah.
It can be.
Absolutely. And it'll keep it cold for you.
Put your favorite beverage in there, guys.
CTGsports.com is where you're going to be able to pick these things up. So I'm going to take you back to 97 in your infamous year with the, it wasn't even a full year in Phoenix. I don't think it was a full year, was it?
No, it was 2 months, I don't think.
Heated moment with Danny Ainge, towel to the face. A few days later, you were a Laker.
Yep.
Were you trying to get the hell up out of fucking Phoenix?
Dude.
Or was it just pure frustration in the moment?
All the above. All the above. And I really mean that, man. You know, you talk about culture.
Yeah.
So when we got traded to the Phoenix Suns, Sam Cassell, Mark Brown, Chucky Brown, we all my boys, you know, we get down, we practicing, dudes don't want to practice, dudes don't want to even come to practice. And it was just like, no wonder we were kicking your ass in the playoffs because you guys don't practice hard. And it's all about what you know, we always say we got to make our practices so hard that the games are easy.
Yep.
Man, these dudes are sitting on the sideline. I think we would have had cigars and they'd have been smoking cigars, man. It was just, the culture was this bad. And it was just, I didn't want to be there. You know, at the time, my daughter was sick too. And I was like, I had 1 year left on me. It was like on my deal. I'm like, okay, I'm out of here at the end of this. I said, they could offer me all the money in the world. I wasn't going to stay in Phoenix because I didn't like the city. I didn't like Colangelo. I didn't like the team. I didn't like the uniform. It was nothing I liked. The fans I liked. They were great. They were there. They're going to always be behind. The fans were great, but just the culture there was just not what I wanted. And so it was just, and then next thing you know, he said the wrong words to me at the wrong time.
So Big Shot, what was those words that he said that made you say, fuck you?
That's exactly what I said.
We can see.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
So I gotta give you a little backstory. So at the time, you know, Cotton, God rest his soul, he was a coach. We getting our asses kicked day by day. We playing the Chicago Bulls. We trying to run the triangle. And so we get beat by 20, 30, whatever it is. And so in practice, next day, when I triangle this, I triangle that. So now I raised my hand. I'm like, yo, man, can we talk about our defense? Our defense sucks. And Danny Ainge was in charge. He's like, defense? You the worst defensive player on the team. I was like, whoa. I literally stood up and did this. Wait one motherfucking minute. I said, you got Wesley Person sitting over there. Danny Manning right there. And God rest his soul. Wayman Tisdale right here. You saying I'm the worst. Man, fuck you. He wasn't the coach then, right? And so 2 days later, Cotton says, I quit. Cotton quits, and then Danny becomes the head coach. I'm like, fuck. Same time Cotton quits, they traded away my boy, Sam Cassell, AC Green, who me and AC became really close at the time. And then I was like, I remember Sam coming, Horo, man, I just got traded. I was like, please let me with you. Please say I'm with you. Please say I'm with you. I was like, where you going? He said, to Dallas. I said, who in the trade? I don't fucking care, man. I'm just out. I'm so happy. I'm like, fuck you, man. And so I called my agent. I'm trying to figure out. He said, no, you still there. And then, and then Danny Ainge had the nerve to say, well, we traded away Michael Finley, my boy, Sam Cassell, you're my boy, AC Green, my boy, so you can have more time. I'm like, okay. So the next day we in with the Celtics. I start. I'm playing pretty damn good. I get a steal, hit a three, get a block shot. 3 minutes in, I'm like, Danny Manning come to get me? What? Oh fuck no. And so I said, why you sub me? He said, shut the fuck up and go sit down. I said, and I'm walking. I said, did he just say what I think he said? So I went down and said, who are you fucking talking to like that? He said, you. I said, man, fuck you. And that's when I threw the towel in his face and went down. And so, man, at the end of the game, We in the locker room. So you got Chucky Brown, Mark Bryant, me sitting next to each other. Joe Klein comes in there. Man, we don't fucking do that around here. Oh, no, man, you shut the fuck up, you big-headed motherfucker. I mean, y'all got to excuse my language. I'm hot. You know, in your locker room, I'm hot. And so I'll whoop your big-headed ass right now. And Mark Bryan and Chuck, yeah, he jumps up. So basically, it's the 3 Houston guys against the whole Suns. I'm like, and you know, I loved him to death. He was the only one that was really nice on the team. Wayman Tizzle said, like, guys, calm down. You know, Danny Mann was like this. I'm looking around like, this is all you punk motherfuckers right here ain't gonna do nothing. And the only person that calmed me down, because I was about to tear some locker room up, I love this guy, Paul Silas. Like, Rob, calm down, calm down. Let's go in the back. Silas. So he took me to the room. He was like, I said, no, man, fuck this. And I'm hot. So, and I'm usually a mild-mannered guy, right? I'm hot because it's just, you know, I hated Danny Ainge. I hated the situation I was in. I was missing my kids. There was just a lot of stuff going through me at the time, right? Mm-hmm. And so I was like, man. And then, so of course, after everything died down, you know, I wasn't even going to get on the bus. I was just going to find my own way back to wherever I was going to go. So, you know, Paul says, come on, get on the bus. We get on the plane, we go back. I get suspended for 2 games. And then Danny Ainge called me after submission, say, hey, I just want to let you know, I probably just won you another championship. I'm like, why? He says, because I just traded you to the Lakers. Click, I hung up the phone. In my car, was driving to LA. I didn't even know who I got traded for, who I was with. I didn't give a shit. I was out. Hey, I ain't gonna lie,
so
man.
So that's how you found out you got traded. Danny called you and said, I probably helped win you another championship.
You didn't even talk to your agent or nothing?
No, Danny called me. He called me.
And you didn't say nothing. You just hung up right after he said,
yeah, thank you,
got traded to the Lakers.
I called one of my buddies up and said, man, get on that next Southwest flight here. And we're packing these 2 cars up and we driving to LA. I didn't know where I was staying, where I was going, because he was from LA. I'm following him. He got here and we stayed, you know, the airport. We used to always stay by the airport, the hotel by the airport. And that's where I was at for about 2 months till I figured out where to stay in LA. So,
wow.
But after that trade, though, that's how me and B. Scott became good friends, because he was the one that kind of, you know, gave me the big brother hug and took me over to his house, meet his family. And it was like, see, this is old school basketball. Right? These are guys that's going to, it's a brotherhood. It's a whatever you need, I got you. And that's what B. Scott was there for me.
You hit this shot against the Sacramento Kings that Vlade Divac said, just a lucky shot. And your reply was, he better check my resume, because you had hit so many of them. Where does that shot, I mean, that shot is still iconic. Everybody still remembers that shot to this day. And most people remember where they were when they were watching the game when you hit the shot, right?
Yes.
I can tell you where I was.
Yeah, you were on the bench somewhere. On the court, because you was in his arms.
He's the first one.
I was the first one there.
Big Shot had his arms down like this, looking down, and you were like all over him.
It's the highest I've ever jumped in my life.
Yeah, you only got to about right here. But anyway.
I just remember him hugging me and I couldn't move my arm. Like,
I bear hugged him.
Oh, he had him wrapped. Ain't no doubt about it. But where does that shot, in all, because you hit so many, and we're going to go over damn near every big shot you hit in your career, which is a lot of them. Most players in their lifetime wouldn't hit this many shots. They wouldn't even take them, first of all. But where does that shot rank amongst your greatest shots of all time?
It's number 1.
Yeah.
It's number 1 by far.
Preach.
Because I grew up a Laker fan. And I grew up, and I almost, you know, big Magic Johnson fan. I almost shed a tear when all you guys pull hamstrings and I'm like, no, not my Lakers. And then, you know, and then having the chance to put on the purple and gold and to do it at home, you know, and of course, Shaq, Kobe, them chant my name. Yeah. And so that to me, and, you know, it still gives me goosebumps to this day. And I think that overhead shot of me hitting the shot and then seeing, was it Dante? Was it Dante on the other end, right?
Yeah, ran across Dante was running across the court.
Right, all I see is Dante running across the floor, him hugging me, and then Mark Madsen going, "You said we would win. You said we would win." And so, all these things just come crashing in, man. It's so much joy to make a shot at home. And you think about it, in Staples Center, in a Laker uniform, when you got these iconic players you playing for, an iconic coach playing, you know, it's just so many things that makes that number 1, you know. And don't get me wrong, all the other shots are still my babies, but nobody got a chance to chant my name. Because you think my first shot I made was in Seattle on the road. Then you think about the Portland shot.
We
Kobe
won't
was
talk
on the
about
road.
that.
Like so many other things were on the road, but this was the only one. Maybe I forgot that Houston was at home, but this was at home in a Laker uniform. So, and you think about that's if you go back and you have how loud Staples Center was after that. The only other time it's been that loud is when Kobe retired. You know, I don't think he'll ever get that loud again.
Yeah.
You know, so
I'll say this because as we all have, I've seen that shot over and over and over, and every time I've seen it, I've just smiled about it. Right, just like when he hit it. So when you hit it, I just did, both hands, but I just like, both hands. But I go back now when I see it, I look at your reaction. I still remember your reaction, and of course Jay jumping all over you and everybody coming down. And then I'll go and look at it again, and I see how, like you just said, how the fans, how that arena exploded.
Yes.
It was like, oh my God! It was it's one of the greatest shots that I've seen.